I feel like I could play this drum beat.
Welcome back to Reacts. This is a segment where I get my country-loving / Swiftie wife to listen to a song she hasn't heard before and get her reaction. So today we are listening to LCD Soundsystem's All My Friends.
We got another 8-minute. See, this instrumental is like interesting.
All right, well, that was almost 8 minutes long.
Yeah, I loved it.
Really?
Yeah. I actually really liked it.
Okay.
That reminded me of like kind of what it was kind of giving Coldplay a little bit, kind of giving like Jack's Mannequin vocally a little bit, like that kind of like
Okay, Jack's Mannequin, interesting.
yeah, like that kind of thing that I like, that like kind of hopeful sound.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
Yeah, they're very uplifting.
yeah. And like really reminds me of like the bands that I liked in high school. The intro was excessive, but that's okay. I can be forgiving of that. It was like
a minute or 2 minutes.
Yeah. I was like, oh, like when it first started, I was like, oh, this is a bop. Like I'm really vibing to this. And then I was like, oh, maybe this is like a karaoke version, like an instrumental.
They definitely set the scene with that kind of repetitious looping.
Yeah.
Just setting that vibe. They were kind of like dance pop or like not house music, because it's like it's better, it's more than that.
I don't know what house music is.
House music is kind of like what you would hear at clubs and raves now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, like I would put that in the same lane as like, again, the music I was listening to in high school, like that kind of like if you listened to my playlist called 16, I feel like that would fit in really well with like what I was listening to.
Yeah, it's a little like, because most of your playlist of 16 is like emo and pop punk and.
Ouch.
I'm just saying.
You don't think that kind of feels pop punky?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it plays off that. LCD Soundsystem was huge in New York. It was kind of like they started underground. They started pretty late, like in their like lives. I think he was like mid-30s. Don't quote me on that, but I think he was kind of. I think he was kind of like around that age. But like for an artist, like, you know what I mean, that's starting later. What did you think lyrically about that song?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely like a lot more interesting lyrically than anything else you've shown me.
Yeah.
I was paying more attention to the lyrics because the track wasn't so agonizing. I mean, I didn't find it agonizing at all.
Yeah.
But the track was like enjoyable, and so then I was paying attention to the lyrics, and yeah, I don't know. It really does to me feel like hopeful and kind of just like indie pop punk and something that I could like turn on a road trip or something.
Yeah,
I think they could shorten the instrumental the intro at the top could be shortened, but the instrumental in the middle was like totally fine, and I could feel the build of that. Like that's what I think is different from the thing you showed me last week.
The thing.
The song.
You can't even call it a song. The thing.
The song you showed me last week was like so boring, and then the instrumentals were just so long, and they were so much the same, that this felt more interesting because there was like something happening and changing. I will say that like loop that they had the whole way through the song, that like piano thing, like I could see how that might get like annoying, because like you feel like it's just like this like ringing in your ear that's like going over and over and over again. But I felt that the track itself was interesting enough that I wasn't focused on that too much.
Yeah, and they kind of cut like, they have a lot of their influences kind of come out of like German area like dance scene, and that's what they were really known for.
Are they
like,
British?
No, New York.
Oh, they're American.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I kind of like imagine that they might be like cool British guys. I don't know why.
Cool New York guys. But yeah, it kind of comes out of that German dance scene, where like it was very repetitive. but heavy on like very smart production and like using really intricate synths and layerings and all that kind of nerdy, I guess, stuff. So that's why they would do that, because they would layer more stuff on top of it, and it was really intricate. LCD Soundsystem is really known to be like one of the best bands you could see live for that reason, because they're all everything's analog. So they've got all of their synths out and they're building their soundscape.
Why have I literally never heard of them?
They're kind of underground. Like they are mainstream now in the sense that they kind of broke through, but they were really a band for Gen Xers, because when they came through, I think this was like 2007 maybe, or 2004. So when they came through, he's in his mid to late 30s, and he's talking about like this song, for example, is talking about the ups and downs in friendship, and it's kind of like it's less about, it's more mature subject matter of what people go through when they're older, and so Gen X people really latched onto it, but then they popped off, and then millennials kind of latched onto it as well, because they're like, hey, we feel these things too, even though he's not a millennial, he's older. But that was kind of the significance. They were kind of the New York darlings for a long time, and then
New York
they just
darlings
blew up. Yeah, but
interesting. Yeah, I like them. I'd listen to that again. I'd listen to their music.
Okay, well that's good. So there can be good long songs. Yeah,
I mean, I still think like, did that go to radio? I can't imagine that did well at like mainstream radio.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
So I would say, like, to perfect that song, maybe cut it down a little bit. I'm just speaking, to like all my haters out there. I'm just speaking to the average listener who is just like kind of listening for enjoyment. I think that you should probably pay attention to length. That's all I'm trying to say. That song was great. I listened to it. It wasn't painful to listen to 8 minutes, but you can't really put that song on a radio station. You can't, like, I think if you shortened it, it would be a lot more marketable. But obviously it's done well, apparently, so.
But you can dance to it. And I think that's the scene they were coming through.
8 minutes is a long time to dance.
Oh, if you're at the club, though. You know what I mean? Like a DJ.
Yeah.
Like they just cycle through music for hours, so you wouldn't really notice as much a song like that, I don't think. But all right, so what do you think then about a rating?
I would say I would give it a 7.
A 7, okay.
Yes. Compared to the 1.5 that I gave
the
Metallica.
1.5 and then the 4 before that.
These are obviously my own personal opinions. I'm not saying that I believe that this, whatever. I'm saying personally, I would give it a 7. I enjoyed it. I thought it was probably too long, but I think overall it was great.
All right, here's a fun thing. What is a Taylor Swift song that you would say is a 7, so that we can give this some context?
Whoa, that's tough.
Okay,
They're
why?
all
Because
tens, obviously.
Gross.
What Taylor Swift song is a 7? Style. Okay. So this is like Style. Yeah, I mean, it's like I'd listen to it, I'd vibe to it, I could dance to it. I'm not like going for that song all the time, but it's like a bop maybe at times. Yeah. All right. Well, there you have it, folks. I hope you're first passing grade. We could do this. I told you I would do a better song this time. I did it. You did. I actually liked that. Last time I tricked you. This time. I know. This time you were nice to me. I hope we can keep the upward trend going, because your fans do not like me. You will soon. All right. Well, next time, who knows what we'll show? Maybe it'll be an hour-long song. Oh my gosh. Maybe it'll be Taylor. Maybe it'll be a 10-second song. Could be. You know what would be fun is that the Super Bowl is next week, and Taylor is attending. So in honor of Taylor. You've heard every single Taylor Swift song there is. That's okay. I could listen with new ears, fresh ears. We're not doing Taylor Swift. I could have an unbiased take. That's not happening. That's not happening. Saying. It has to be something you haven't heard before. It's called reacts. You can't react to something. I can react. No, because... And I react to her songs all the time. We'll see you next time on... We'll see you next time on Reacts.